Good evening, good evening. What's good? What's good, Edward? How you doing? Soon, hold on, let me add you right now. Right now. Everybody share the live, people. Share the live.
I think
What's
we
good, man? Hold
here.
on. Let
What's
me let
good,
me
my
start
guy?
sharing the live a little bit so these people can come on it. Hold on.
I'm gonna get it to
What I'm
my people too,
about to
for
do too, I'm about
sure,
to
for sure.
basically jump on YouTube. I'm gonna add this to YouTube too.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nah,
we
I'm
getting
gonna
it
pull
out
up on YouTube and
everywhere.
everything. That's what I usually do.
Bro, the
Yo, good
gauges
looking,
are
man.
so
Appreciate it.
tough.
Now we're gonna talk about you. We're gonna
Yeah,
get
for
into it.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
every day's a good day
Good
above
day
ground,
though.
man.
I like that.
Remember,
I like that.
only dead people don't have good days. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I could argue some of them probably
I
having a better
mean,
day.
listen, in life,
Depending on
things not always gonna go as planned, but we have the opportunity. Every day is a new beginning, so
yeah.
that's how you gotta look at it. Yeah.
Amen.
So we're about
So
to get it here right now. Hold on. Hey, everybody.
damn, I see y'all.
All right, all right, all right, all right. We here. So we got Edwards. Talk about it. Introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, so for the people who don't know me, I'm Edwards. That's Edwards without the A. I'm a 21-year-old artist from Long Island, New York. And, I'm very big on mental health, authenticity, spirituality, and just, trying to motivate others to also live a life of, being the most authentic version of themselves. So that's my
Okay,
little
so
spiel.
how you got into music?
So I I've grown up in a very like entertainment household. My parents threw me into dance classes at like the age of 3. So I was always surrounded by music. And then growing up with that music,
Okay.
I wanted to be the person that was making that. I saw the way that music could bring everybody together in a room, but for me, it was like, okay, how do I be,
Mhm.
T-Pain on the speakers, having everybody dance and smile? So that was really like the first building block. And then, as I grew up, of course, my love for music developed. I learned how it could be, a
Okay.
therapy session for me in a way for me to cope and,
Okay, so
talk about
I
life.
see you also play the guitar as well, right?
Yeah, I play guitar,
Oh wow.
I play piano, and then as well as like a lot of my
Mm.
music you hear
So
is
you make your own
produced
beats.
by me. Depending on yeah, yeah. I've been producing since like 8th or ninth
Oh
grade,
wow.
so it's been
See,
a
I'm
long
not learning that
time.
today. I thought you were just
Um,
an artist, but you like an overall artist.
yeah. So when I started, it was a lot of like all the homies would come to the studio and we'd be on YouTube just type beat like all day every day. But then it came to the point where I was like, I want to have so much more control over my records. I want to know exactly what pocket I'm in. I want to be able to make those transitions as
Okay.
smooth and effortless as possible. So learning how to produce was a big part of finding my sound as Edwards. Because the last thing I wanted to do was bite off anybody else. Obviously, I'm inspired by so many other artists, but I didn't want people to think like he's trying to
So
be this
speaking about
person. So in order for
inspiration,
me
who
to be
inspired you? Like,
myself,
or what inspired you?
um, I would say like the first artist that really made me think I could do it is there's this artist from Dublin. His name's Eden, and he has a lot of melancholy, ambivalent songwriting. It's very deep, poetic, and it touches on stuff that I feel like a lot of people can relate to. So when I saw him doing that, I was like, okay, I think I can learn to, take off that mask and be able to be very vulnerable with people. And he was the first one that really
It was
just,
good. K2
blew my
Legacy.
mind.
I see everybody on the check in. My my son MCM
Yeah.
say he's a star. K2 Legacy. I see you. I see you. The manager's here. The manager or the momager.
Yes, man. I wouldn't be anywhere without her. She is a big supportive influence in my life, and has always just motivated me to get out there, go be
Okay.
yourself, and have fun doing
So
it.
how would you
So,
describe your
man, I
sound?
love to her. I would describe my sound as Edwards. I know
Touche.
that's very like, some people can take cocky or something, but I just don't really
Okay.
see a lot of people doing exactly what I'm doing. There's a lot of people pushing the boundaries and, just developing music and making it what it is today. But I just feel like when you listen to an Edwards record, is me. It's that R&B, that hip hop, that little bit of alternative influence. It all
Yes,
comes
I
together
see you've
so
been
well.
dibbling, dabbling
And
in different types of sounds.
yeah, so that song, that's definitely worth touching on. A lot of people, I was talking to my cousin about this the other day, and he's like, well, like, depending on
David
who asks,
Perspective
like,
say you're not
about your
regular.
music, I showed them a different one. Yeah, we not regular. Mad love to David.
Okay,
He's one of my
okay.
boys out in Cali, and we pushing that motto, just don't be regular. There's no reason to be. Just be yourself. But as I was saying, like, depending on the person, it's like, what song do we give them? So sometimes we giving them that like MGK alternative rock pop vibe, but other times for the people who like the rap music, they're getting songs like Numb, Veins, where it's a little bit more of that edgy side, a little bit more
Speaking about
uncuffed.
veins, I'm actually thinking about
And
playing that right now, so the so the audience could have a yeah, a little
yeah, a
taste.
little taste. No, no, no.
Yeah. So hold on. Let me get into it right quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull you. Let me pull you. Let me go to. Let me pull up your sound. Oh, yo, for everybody that want to hear your sound, let them know your let them know where to find your music at.
Yeah, I mean, shit, y'all can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Tidal, Deezer, SoundCloud, literally anywhere you listen to music, I'm sure you can find me. And if where you listen to music you can't find
All
me,
right.
let me
So
know so we
bet
can change that.
we're gonna get the veins
But you
right
probably
now. Hold on.
know it. Yeah, you right, Jared. You know about
You
cages.
get it?
I do not hear it, actually. There we go.
So I got an edgy side to it.
Oh, for sure. Has that little Spanish flamenco guitar vibes, and then on top of that, like, a lot of hi hat rap influence with drums.
Hey,
Um,
hey, you produce the shit, right?
yeah,
All right, so we gonna let the audience
yes.
hear it right quick. And I heard this beat on I heard this song on the radio too.
Yeah, it's a good one.
A lot of people probably heard the beat, but they ain't know it's you.
No, a lot didn't know. I have to tell people this. I see Elliot in the chat. He definitely another artist you should dive into.
All
Long
right,
Island
Elliot, hit me up
native
on
and
the
real.
inbox, on the DM. What's this right here? Strings? This is a guitar string?
Um, yeah, I mean, you hearing that little
Yeah.
pluck is guitar strings. Bro, I just got to sing, figure it out. So just a cloud, yo, let's go with me, shout, feel the egg, bring it on around. Whoever care for me, ever share with me, I'm getting clarity, finally seeing a bigger picture where the camera's flicker. I'm gonna do it bigger. Like the pen game on this one, I had a lot of fun with. We were just trying, make it perfectly bouncy in the pocket, and I'm
I
glad it
like
worked
the
out.
production is dope. I like the lyrics too.
Yeah, so the thing with Veins, I went to
Let me turn it down a
Nashville
little bit. Let me
and
turn it
linked
down a
up
little
with my
bit.
boy Charles. Say that. But basically with Veins, I had taken that to Nashville to work with, a close friend of mine who's also a producer. And that was like one of 4 songs we worked on out there. And Veins was like the one that the whole time I was in the booth, like, fuck, like I keep fucking up. Like it got to the point where I had to call it one day. I was like, I'm gonna come back tomorrow. But I have it, my boy, like Jared in the chat, he was there just telling me like, you got this, like push through. And, the record, it got finished. And I'm very glad we did finish it because it was definitely an uphill battle. But I'm so proud and glad of how it came out at
I got
the end,
you. So what like it got an edgy side to it. So like what made you write that song? What state of mind you were in?
Yeah, so with Veins, that was kind of like fresh out of a breakup. I was in a relationship and I felt like it was that moment where I kept going back. I knew it was bad for me, but I kept going back because I wanted to be there for that person. And that's kind of why the lyrics touch on, take the blood out of my veins if you want to. It's so far beyond us, but tell me, girl, pick up my pace. It's like, it's very, very poetic. Each line in this song, if you really dissect it. And, that's what the song is really about. It's about wanting to be there and put in that extra work for someone when you know it ain't going to be given back in return. But sometimes, we become attached, obsessive with people.
I think a
And
lot of people can
that's
relate
what
to that.
Veins is.
I
Yeah.
mean, right now somebody
Yeah.
right now is going through that as we
Yeah.
speak.
Everybody been through it at least once.
So talk about
but
the project you
yeah.
got coming up. You're about to go on tour too, right?
Yeah, so we got a little tour coming up. I'm gonna be hitting a bunch of different states. Some I've been to before, others I haven't. So April 11th, we doing a show
Okay.
on Long Island, Amityville Music Hall. From there, we're going to
Wow.
Delaware, Cleveland, Ohio. I get to go up to Albany, New York for my first time, which is cool, just because I get to see the capital for once. And then a little bit later into the year, we're going to be hitting Seattle, San Diego, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, a bunch of
You
different
all
spots.
over.
We just
So
keeping it moving.
I'm sure labels have been hitting you up. Do you rather stay independent or you rather get signed?
I think it's just about how many zeros they write on the check for me, if I'm being completely honest. But I know that right now what's best for me is to kind of be independent. Just because when you get into working with a label, a lot of things like they get picked up, but then they can get dropped like that the next day. So it's not really something I'm dying to get there. I also don't want to step into a label without having a clear, like laid out blueprint of how we gonna do it. I know it's bad. It's one of my bad attributes, but I'm very hands on the reins with my stuff, with the
I
visuals, the
actually think that's
art.
not a
I make
bad
a lot
thing.
of my
That's
cover
a great
art.
thing.
Yeah, I like it. I like it because artists like Tyler, the Creator, like they're the ones that are really pioneers doing something so like that is dumb. And I think it's a beautiful thing the way that artists like him are able to go from music to fashion to cinema, and it all ties together so seamlessly. And I don't want to do anything messy, so I'll take my time if I have to. But I know, like, I'm also so young. I got so
So much
much
talent
time
too.
ahead of me. That yeah, so maybe there'll be, some labels in the future. But right
Somebody
now, I
say come
know
back to
I trust
Massachusetts.
myself. I do.
So,
Everybody's
so,
been
so,
saying
so
this.
talk about
I need to
Boston.
go
Like,
back to Boston.
what was the highlight that everybody wants you to come back? Talk about it.
Well, so we did a show. We did a show up in Boston. I was on this tour that was called Boys of Summer Tour. It was like a social media tour. So you have like influencers as well as music artists, and I was one of those music artists. So I was out there, did a set. Really neat venue too, and you know the love was real. As you can see, they still here. So yeah, I would love to go back.
So do you have songs that you personally don't like but other people like?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. There was this project that I had out a long time ago, and it was called Angels and Heartbreakers. And it was, it had a lot of love, the album. But personally, I didn't resonate with it. Like, it honestly felt like because it was so early stage in my career, my artistry, that it was just like throwing paint at the wall. And it was like the first try at music. So I actually got rid of the album. I took it down. And then like I didn't know whether I should or not. And I had like fans and people hit me off like, why'd you take it down? Not this song, not this song. But I hope everybody realized what I was doing, because I promised. I said, listen, what is coming on the way is so next level and different. And they got that. So now I'm not deleting stuff anymore. I understand it's all a part of the process, the journey, and it shows growth. But that was one of the projects that I couldn't hold on to it. I was like, get that shit.
Speaking about the process, right? Being that you say you also produce your music, is it safe to say you produce 100% of your music?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I mean, there's certain tracks, like I have an EP, Whatever Happens, and some of those tracks are produced by different artists from like all over the world. Like I got one song called Truth, and this producer from Sweden named Blind for Love, super cool artist. He does like dance hall beats and stuff. That was by him. I like collaborating with people. It's just as I said, I like having my hands on. So I would say 99% of my music is me, and that 1% is when I want to have fun.
It's a question.
Yeah. Okay. We can take 9% away.
Well, yeah, well, you said 99. So, question, right? When you do write for yourself, right? How does the process go about especially being that you're a producer? Do you write the song first and then you make the beat around the song, or you make the beat first and then you write the song around the beat?
I'd say it's very different each time. Like literally before I hopped on the live, I was working on a new song, and it started with me making the beat, and then from there I just started freestyling all the lyrics like that I kind of was resonating with in the beginning. But it's not always like that. Other times I will have the song completely written out of my notes, because I write lyrics all day, every day, whenever they come in my head. And then sometimes it's like I wrote something in January, and then in April I'm like, oh, okay, like that works for this song. So it's always different. I like to keep it different, because always switching it up, it allows you to be diverse and also be able to work with other artists as well, which is important to me. I like working with other people and just helping each other elevate. But yeah, it's different. Sometimes you got the beat done, other times you got the lyrics done first. And it's funny because sometimes a song will just have verses, no hook, until like the last week, and I had a hook, and I'm like, okay, now it's all unified. But
so
yeah, that's the process.
We want to get some more songs right now. Hold on. I see.
Yeah, so here's what I was thinking we do. Because I'm a singer, but I'm also a rapper. So I thought it would be really interesting if I threw on a beat for you and kind of experimented on the spot.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, cool. So what I need from you is just give me like 2 words that you kind of would love to hear kind of sprinkled in there.
We're on the spot right now.
How about we do Unapologetic as one? We got that.
All right.
And then we can do New York, because, New York. Cool. Nigga, just get this beat.
Oh, you showing your talent right now. You're about to show out.
Gotta take off the glasses. We gotta get ready.
Show out.
I hope I can show out. Or I'm just gonna be ass and we all gonna laugh. But that's the process. Feel me? Okay. Okay, now maybe I sound stupid, but I said what I said. Capability from writing letters to all of my friends. To be honest, we lost on the dance floor with your girl. The black lace vibrates from the bass and the floor. Baby, I don't like liquor, style, take me some more. You got a friend, but you taking, of course. With 3 eyes, I might get me a fourth. See mine where the beast highs. These highs got me feeling good up on the east side. My team simple fly, hella fly. Me, myself, and I found that catch a vibe. So stretching time, so I'm stressing fine. What will feed your heart? Let me gaze the stars. Foreign cars outside of the party where the models talk. What's the cost? Mazel top. I'll deal with complications after everybody going through a rock. Deal with consequences later. Soda pop on the rise. Using whiskey as my chaser. What you do? What you want? I'm unapologetic. Bringing you this Armageddon. The boy gets so poetic. He opens up the heavens, but tells the people get in until he loses turn. So here he flies, falling right back to earth. Yeah, that's that word. And why?
Oh, okay.
Little song, little song.
Okay. I'm very much impressed. I am very much impressed.
Thank you.
So, question: copycat. How did that? We going back to the. Yeah. So copycat.
Way back. Yeah. So copycat. That was back when I was still in high school, and obviously, I know it's not only where I'm from. I know this happens everywhere. But when you are different, people like to discriminate against that. That's a big thing. So in school, I had a lot of hate for just dancing, singing, being very outside of the box, wearing crazy clothes all the time. It was just like, why are you doing this? So with that, I started making this song. I had all the boys in the stew. We're all hanging out. Home studio, by the way. A lot of stuff just made at home. And yeah, that was a fun one. I'm very happy you brought Copycat up because I actually, David, Perspective in the chat, my boy out in Cali, that was our first video we ever shot. I met him in the city. I had some dance class, and he was like, yo, like, if you're trying to shoot something, let's shoot something. So I had sent him that song and was like, hey, let's get to work. And, since that day, he's been one of the best. One of my favorite people to work with. Yeah, so
I'm listening. I'm
throw
listening.
it on. Let's go. And mad love to everybody in the chat. Of course, you, Evan. That's OG, Ghost, everyone. Felicia, Sketty, all y'all real.
Hold on, I'm playing in the wrong room. Okay.
There it is. Yes, Evan, you know. I'll see you later. They trying to reach my level, but they still. And my brother, we gonna be on floors. We be some fun. They doors. They
Your style sounds so different from Veins in this.
Mm-hmm. You can see that. You can really see the growth from that record to Veins.
I wouldn't say growth. I just see versatility.
Okay. You real for that.
I mean, it's different. It's different styles. As an artist, you gotta be versatile. Some people sound the same on every beat.
Mm-hmm. Talk your shit, bro. That's true. Tell me she on top of me. She probably in money tips. So I said, I'll see you later. They trying to reach my level, bro. I'm still using the elevator.
Okay, I see you. I hear you.
Yeah, that little build up right there gets fun. Gets fun.
Hmm. Hey,
So I got a question for you. Where are
Brooklyn,
you originally from New York as well? Okay. Fire.
Brooklyn, New York.
That's what's up.
But I bought New York to Florida
Yeah,
right now.
I okay. That's fire. We love
Yeah,
Florida. I got some family down in Florida
West
on
side.
like the
You mean
west
the
side.
West Coast?
Yeah. Yes, the west
I said
coast
West
of
side, like down
Florida.
LA.
Well,
Nah,
don't think Cali.
it's
Don't
all
think
good.
Cali.
No, Copycat, like that's a single. I mean, have you been pushing that single or what?
It's not something I really have been pushing recently, just because it's kind of an
Old
old song at this point.
old to me is always new to
But
me
it
that didn't hear it. I think that's one
yeah,
of
no,
the biggest
no,
mistakes artists
exactly,
make because
exactly.
they feel a song old, they don't want to push it.
Yeah, I would just say that there's like with I already don't have all the time in the world with posting certain tracks on TikTok, Instagram, all that. So like that's why you hear me. I've been promoting Veins recently, Show and Tell, Numb, kind of, you know, not all very recent records, but still kind of more new because I do want to push the new sound, just because it's more developed,
Speak,
refined, and also I feel like it's more me. Like a big thing I talk about is the authenticity, being authentic, and I'd be lying if I said I was
right? Say
completely authentic with
that.
tracks like Copycat. Um, it's just like I can look at those lyrics and understand, like, I'm talking, way I'm spitting is not even logical. Look at her resting on how they run. I'm all up on it, up on it. I'm on a plane. Ooh, you up in space. Like it's fun. The cadence is cool and fun to play with. But with songs like Veins, it's a lot more poetic, a lot more like the lyrics are very specific. Which is why with a track like that,
I think
that's
you
kind of where
selling
I'm at now,
yourself
trying to
short
get that
because
out.
as an artist, I feel like you should
Hmm.
show different sides of yourself, your versatility.
Yeah, yeah, but trust me, people get that. That's why we are posting the videos of me singing, alternative like music on guitar, and then posting a video of me singing piano, and then people get a little freestyle video of me rapping. People are definitely
Speaking
seeing the
about
versatility.
okay,
Even with like little dance
speaking about new
videos.
singles, you,
Yeah.
you got a single coming out called Blind.
Yeah, so I got a song Blonde coming out. That will be out April 14th. So super soon. And that is probably my favorite record I've ever made in my entire existence.
Seti said
Like
Edward,
seriously.
multi-genre, see all sides, old from new. Yeah. But always remember
Yeah,
what's old
a
to you
whole
is new to
lot.
me.
A whole lot. Yeah, amen. Amen. I'm definitely gonna have to send you some like older tracks like Rolling, some stuff off the Whatever Happens EP, like Come and Go, Wrong. Those are just very like experimental ones, and I think you'll like that. Even that one
Hmm.
with the Swedish producer I was telling you about, Truth. That one is ill. That at a show is so fun because it just comes in big bass. I'm gonna get a little drunk and tell you the
We
truth,
gonna
and then like I love
question.
the
Can we hear a
part on that
snippet
one.
of
It's
Blind?
fun.
Is that possible or is that possible or no?
Um, Fuck it, I got you. I'll show you a little bit.
Yeah,
Y'all don't get the whole thing,
I know you like
but a little bit. All right, let's do.
that.
Me too. What's the closest thing to heaven? I don't mind at all. If you want me to go to hell, I wish you well. Show and tell with all the people that deserve better. You just had to let me know
Edward is bad.
that you had to let me go. Can't be real what you are. Hold on, hold on.
I see your vibe. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Okay. That's all
Basically,
y'all
that's a
get.
snippet
That's all
right
y'all
there, bro. All
get.
right, I see you getting into your bag right
Hey, I ran away,
now.
pulled the wire right out.
So talk about you being on top 58 with the music players for 12 weeks straight. You being on the
What
top,
was that?
your
Say
song
that
being on the
again.
top 58 for 12 weeks straight. Talk about that.
Okay, yeah. So shouts out to a Break Music. They're a wonderful radio platform. And the cool thing about them is they have music from like all over the world. You got artists, Canada, like my boy Tyler Lorette, he's on there. I seen him on there. I was like, F it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's submit a song. Let's see what happens. So I submitted my song, Burn Holes. And, I wasn't really expecting much. I was just like, I'm submitting it. Maybe I get a few listens here and there. And it's just gradually gone up and up. It was like at 40 to 30 to 20, and now it's at like top 10. I think it's number 4 right now, which is just very wild to me. I'm just glad so many people resonated with that song. And I've been seeing, like, even looking at my streams, I'm very much into the statistics of my music, who's listening to it, where they're listening to it, that kind of thing. So seeing like a whole, couple thousand extra streams come in from that, I was very grateful for it. So
Okay, so Wasted
yeah.
Youth. Yeah, how
You
you
like
came about
Wasted
the
Youth?
what's the concept? What's the concept behind that?
So that was one of, like, I was whipping down it's called Nichols Road here. I'm driving down Nichols Road with my boys, and I got my buddy Jason next to me, and we just had this beat on. And I was like, yeah, shouts out to my man Jason, living in the moment we ain't worried, cause we wasted, get the party started, so I'm heartless. And I kind of just was acapella in that. Everybody was like, whoa, 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 write that down, write that
So
down. It
basically,
was one of those
you
moments.
just come up with your songs
So
on the fly, basically.
yeah, yeah. I mean, so obviously music's been a part of my life since like age of 3, as I told you, but I got into hip hop and rap because while I used to dance competitively, so I'd be backstage, we'd be in the dressing room with all the guys, and we would just throw on beats, and it was like everybody was competing to see who got the best verse, the best bars. I'm not gonna, I sucked so bad at first, but I wanted to beat these dudes so bad. They were like 5, 6 years older than me. All like, I thought they were so swaggy. So from there, freestyling became a big part of my life. And freestyling every day, whether it's with my friends, my family. I remember I was even like 17, 18, entered
You doing it right now?
it was like a rap battle. Yeah, fire. But yeah, we love
Now you got
freestyling.
different
We love
sounds, so
Wasted
like
Youth.
it's not like this is
Go.
normal. So that's what I love about your music. I'm actually a fan of your music.
Yeah, no, I'm very impressed how many different songs and bags you
I mean,
tapping
I have
into.
to research the artist that you know.
Yeah, I just appreciate it because it shows that you took the time.
Okay.
So you go, you got a K, she gonna be dropping.
You got a nice catalog, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you. I'm trying to keep it building. I just want to have it so big. Like I really, whenever I do leave this
Mm-hmm.
earth and go into the next, I really want to have a ridiculous amount.
Well, I think you're on the way.
Literally
I mean, you're
just
not on the way of leaving the
held
earth, but you're on
some.
the way of having a ridiculous amount. Yeah, yeah. I gotta correct that. I gotta correct that.
Yeah, yeah. Amen.
Oh,
Okay, Sketty. I see you bopped it on the way to work. Even got that little
just
breakdown, get it
cause
slow real
the
quick.
style is different, I'm just gonna play Hope for the audience because I've been tempted to play that song. We gonna get into that.
classic.
Let me guess. That's an X. That's about an X.
It's about a couple of them. I wouldn't say one.
Yeah. Oh man, hold on. Let them hear it.
You was a hoe. It ain't even Christmas. Ain't you swinging mistletoe? Love
Brandy
that
said she loved
line.
that song.
Oh yeah, I hear her laughing
Oh,
down
you
the
took down
hall.
Thick?
She done laughing. Yeah, Thick's only on like 2 different platforms, I think. But that song was funny too. Running on that with a sandy cheese on the plane. I'm saying they used to tell me that I'll be nothing. Now your son that I keep it bumping. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie.
Feel that.
One of the songs that I like is Ferris Wheel.
That song had such a big return. I remember when I came out with that song, we did this show. It was for this show called Wonderama, which is it's a classic. It's a classic. But we did this festival and there was just all these kids in the audience and Ferris wheel came on. They went crazy. And I was just like, okay, like people like this. That was a song that was very much inspired by Ian Dior. He was a big influence kind of during that time. But yeah, Ferris wheel's a fun one. It's about keeping it moving. I still got merch from that. Got a nice Ferris wheel
So we just
shirt.
gonna
It
play
says
it. We're
keep it
gonna play that right
moving,
now.
which is
I'm not
one
gonna
of
lie. I
my
like your music, and I'm trying to get as
faves. Yeah, I
much.
gotta find it.
I want people to hear it.
Y'all gotta tap in. If you don't know Edwards, now you do. Mm-hmm.
You got like a nostalgic sound. With certain songs, yeah.
That's what we want to do. We want it to feel, make people have some like nostalgia, euphoric moments. As I was saying, for the Ferris wheel, we got the Ferris wheel shirt.
Right.
Keep moving like a Ferris.
Sure,
We
sure,
might have to
sure.
send you one of these. But yeah, we got a lot of fun merch,
I'm
especially
not
for
gonna
the
lie.
new
When I heard
song
this
coming
song,
out. But
it gave me like Post
y'all
Malone
see
type of
that.
vibes.
I'm
So
literally
I
wearing a
wasn't
Post
paying
Malone
attention.
hoodie right now. You making my heart skip a beat,
Listen,
bro.
I know music, and the only thing I hope
I
is
could tell.
that when you get signed, they don't try to take away the creative freedom because, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It kills a lot of art.
But this giving me Post Malone vibe. Like every song, you sound different. When you rap, you sound different.
Some people like to argue that like you have to be cohesive and have everything kind of in the same realm, but I feel like being able to switch those genres allows me to show y'all when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm trying to turn
Mm-hmm.
up, when I'm angry. Having those feelings, it allows me to really express my emotions. So I'm glad I'm all over the
Well,
place.
obviously, as a great artist, you came with this. I've been listening. I sent your music to my DJ. My DJ's like, yeah, he's nice.
Fire, I
And
appreciate
my
that.
DJ is an international DJ. National internet, yeah, all over.
All over. Mr.
Said he
305
said just waiting
Pitbull
for your
style. I
metal
like
song.
that. Need to get there. Need to get there.
What's the concept behind the song?
That was just a
Oh,
song I made because I like smoking
ain't nothing
weed.
wrong with that.
I think. They say with
I'm
my bitch
Caribbean,
1
so we
minute,
say
I'll be
smoke
feeling
ganja and live
great. I'll be
longer.
yeah. I'll just live longer. I like that. I'm taking that.
Mm, Man's laughing.
Of course.
This is your beat too? Oh, this. Okay, damn, that's a dance
Yes.
you have to think.
Sometimes I really have to think. Sometimes I really have to think. And that's
It's a
an old one.
question
That's
as an
like
artist.
2020, I
Do you
think.
sell your beats? I mean, as a producer as well, artist slash producer, do you sell your beats to other people?
Um, so a few people, I'd say, but I don't have like a beat stars. I'm not like, the thing is I make a lot of music. I make a lot. And then I also write a lot of songs. So the hard part is like letting go of things. Like I know I probably should start selling beats because I'm kind of nice with it. But it's not something I've taken the time to really do. You know, like when people ask me, hey, can you do this for me? Yeah, like there's artists that I've had come to the stool. I make them a beat, I write them a song, I record their song, and they leave with a
But the good
wonderful
thing about
song.
it is you sell
You
them
know?
rights in a sense.
Yes. So the big thing is I don't know if you know artists like John Bellion. That's like a big inspiration to kind of where I'm headed because he writes a lot of music for people. But then like he has his stuff he keeps for himself. So he's making bags off like Justin Bieber, a bunch of different like pop artists and stuff. And
Oh
he's even
wow.
working with the Jonas Brothers now. He's making his bag, but he's doing his own thing, which is just so fire. One of the greatest artists I've ever seen perform, write, create. He's unreal. And a
Well,
Long
see,
Island
it seems
native.
like you got a
Shouts
lot
out
of
John Belly,
inspiration,
you
and
know.
as I said, like I would describe as a multi-dimensional
Yeah,
artist. That's how I look at it.
yeah. I'm inspired by pretty much everything. Anything and everything that comes my way, I can kind of
Okay,
take
so what's
something
your
from it.
like out of all your songs? What's your favorite song?
Definitely Blind. I can't wait for you to hear that one out
Do I have it?
because it's very,
Let me see if I got
very
it.
authentic, and that production was just crazy. And then besides that, there's this other song that I wrote
No,
about
I don't
like
got
my
blind.
fam, my sister.
Oh,
No,
matter of fact, yeah, that's
Blind's
a song
coming
that
out
dropped the
April
14th. Yeah,
14th.
that's a snippet that's a snippet that edit.
But I can have some fun if you
Bruno,
want right
you
now.
know
I'll
Bruno?
play you. I'll play you.
No, Bruno,
I know Bruno Mars.
Bruno Fer Xavier.
No, I do not. But welcome,
No, I look like
Bruno.
Bruno wants to
Hopefully we
join
can
the live,
tap
so I wasn't
in.
sure that's somebody you know.
Nah,
Okay.
that's not someone I know. But there's a song that I would love to show you. It is
My
called
favorite
Blue
color.
Jeep, and it is it's a fun one. Cool. Call my sister, she knows better. Say her brother, he really miss her. He's too hooked up right now to keep a conversation. Might be close to blacking out, but he sure wishes you made it. Oh, I need to breathe. I wish that we could go to where we were young. But at least in the back of the blued out Jeep, headphones on, listen to JB. Smile on my face, I can swing my feet. Headphones wrong, just goddamn, grown and we stay so stressed. But I promise, don't you break no sweat. Your little brother of the Weez and mess. I hate me. Oh, I've had enough, so I just daydream. Oh, I'm tired as fuck, but turned down for what? Long day, long nights, and I guess I'm stuck in the gutter. At least I'm your brother. I can count on the collocation, but I would rather not. Let me get back to the basics. Don't get it something I forgot. New relation go crashing in like a hurricane in Neville. Even across the nation, I'm wishing that you won't be well. It's still undecided. I don't
Got me
really
making
wanna
faces.
go. I hate feeling alone. Mom and dad will leave us silent. It's super frightening. But at least in the back of the blued out Jeep, headphones on, listen to JP. Smile on my face, I can swing my feet. Roller coaster rides with you next to me. I have fun. Goddamn, grown and we stay so stressed. But I promise, don't you break no sweat. Your little brother of the East and Mets. I hate me. Oh, I've had enough, so I just daydream. Oh, I've had enough, but turned down for what? Long days, long nights, and I guess I'm stuck in the gutter. At least I'm your brother.
Wow.
That's a song. It's
And
definitely
you
in my
got that
top 3.
recorded or not?
No, I got like a little demo in the works, but I
I
kind of
need
want
to put that
to
on the station and the
master it
playlist
up.
right there.
I saw you messing with I can count on the collocation, but I would rather not. Let me get
Nah,
back to the
you're
basics.
very versatile, man. Like you definitely surprised me. So back to your personal life. I see that
Thanks.
you're a mental health advocate, right? So yeah, so let's talk about that.
Extremely. So I mean, I grew up with severe depression, anxiety, anger management. I was in and out, going to different counselors, trying to, get fixed, and it was never something that helped. There was a time in my life where I had attempted, and luckily I'm
Thank,
still here.
thank God,
But I've been
thank
through a
God that
lot,
never manifested because the
and
world won't hear your music.
yeah, I think a big thing that kind of helped me. I mean, there was like friends of mine that had passed from self-harm, and that was such a heartbreaking thing. And just knowing, like the impact that can have on people, I didn't want to do that to my loved ones. And that's why I make music. I have a song called Never the Answer, and it was the first song that someone reached out and said,
We're gonna
your
play that right
song
now.
saved my life. And yeah, that song just, like, once I heard my music was able to save someone's life, I was like, this is my job for the rest of my life. Just
I mean,
knowing I could
I
help
feel like the
someone
Creator bless
who
you with
also is
talent,
going
and
through it. Yeah.
part of my speakers is giving
But that
little
song is
feedback.
actually,
I don't like that right now. Get it together.
that's cool. But that song I actually wrote for a friend of mine who had passed, and I'm just grateful for the impact that song has had. We did the longest day, which is like a walk, but I sang for like a bunch of people, and it was just wild. A lot of people, a lot of tears, a lot of hugs, but it was a
Yeah, I
good
think
day.
sometimes a lot of people struggle with depression, and I mean that's sometimes all the
I
time.
think we are dealing with
Depression,
it in some
stress,
sort of way.
but some people don't know how to handle it. Like I used to battle depression at one time,
Yeah.
but I realized that like I'm also an artist. I used to write music. I started off as an artist, then I created my own record label. Then I'm like, you know what? Everybody become an artist to get signed to be on the radio. So I'm like, you know what? Let me skip the process, and then I created Unapologetic Radio New York. But sometimes,
I appreciate you sharing your story because especially men, a lot of men don't like to
I,
open up, be
I think
vulnerable. Um, a lot of
I
guys don't
think the
get their
reason why men
flowers
don't
until
open up
their
is
funeral.
vulnerable because
So
like society shows like it's a sign of weakness. It's like it's okay for a woman to
yes.
cry because like girls start growing up crying, but like it starts from the youth, from young
Hmm.
boys. Like when boys cry for no reason, it's like what you crying for? Toughen up, man up. And then the only emotions that we're allowed to
Exactly.
show growing up is anger and love.
Hmm. And that's why we trying to kind of just promote being that, opening up, being vulnerable. Like I'll sit down with my friends and be like, "Yo, how are you? Like, how are you feeling? What
But
is
even
going
up to this
on?"
day, I feel like
Because
men feel more comfortable being vulnerable to other men.
yeah.
Cause simple, like like as women, women they look at us as protectors. So it's like when a woman is
Hmm.
feeling sad and broken, we're there for her. But when a man's feeling sad and broken, sometimes I feel like okay, they look at us like okay, well, you're supposed to be
Trust me, man. And
you're
I've had
supposed to be
my
the
fair
person that
share
I'm
of
supposed
females
to.
leave because of
That's
that.
you're supposed to be my rock, and you're weak right now. So
Yeah.
how could you be strong for me, not knowing that we're human just like you, and we're just going through it for a moment. It's like like
Exactly.
we just want to get it out.
No, exactly. I mean, I've had relationships where, um, I almost got like looked at weird or shunned for stressing my boundaries, my expectations, how I felt. Because as you said, a lot of times like men are looked at as that protector, that you know supporting them. But it's a two-way road, and I feel like the world is slowly getting there. We just got to keep
So
pushing it because nobody should have to hide their feelings ever.
I
Should
know
always
it's a tool.
let
I
it
think
out.
sometimes ego plays a role in it too because as men we don't want to look weak, and I feel like once you're comfortable within
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and I feel like a vulnerable man is also a strong man and a dangerous man because he's strong enough to know that he can be vulnerable,
Yeah.
and he's even more dangerous if you try to take advantage of his vulnerability. If that makes sense, yeah.
Oh yeah. No, 1,000. Because then you're like, okay, I gave you the benefit of doubt,
Yeah,
right?
so
It's
I
over.
mean, it's good to talk about that because like a lot of people, like you even see like a lot of TikTok artists, they killing themselves and whatever. And sometimes like even in life, somebody could walk with a smile, and they could be hurting. That's why I live by a rule like it doesn't cost
Yeah.
money to be kind. Being kind is free, and
Yeah.
even
Lead with
within
kindness. Love
myself,
is
when
the
I'm going through
answer.
certain things in life, I could be going through the most problems, and I still make myself available for other people that's dealing with problems. And by being there for
Mm-hmm.
them, it kind of helps me with my problems. Sometimes I thought, you know what, well, even though I'm going through some shit, it's really not that bad because this person's going through worse than me. And that's what I realized. There's always somebody
Mm-hmm.
worse than you. Like we may we may stress
Yeah, there
about
always
not
is.
having money to pay bills, and bills may get cut off, but you have some people that's on the street sleeping. We may complain about like, damn, I
Yeah.
need money to eat, but then you got some people that haven't eaten days or weeks. So like I just learned to be
Yeah.
grateful.
No, I completely understand. Um, I also feel like an important thing is like, um, you have to experience negative situations in your life, and having that contrast. Like that's why I say it all the time to my people at my
Yeah,
shows. Like it's okay to not be okay. Now it doesn't mean that you could stay not okay. It just means that if we didn't go through sadness, grief, being angry, mad, we would never know how wonderful it is to be happy, full of joy, excited.
it's yeah, it's like
It's there's balance in
it's like
everything.
the
You have
yin and
light and
yang. Yin and light
darkness.
is
You
like
got
water.
everything.
Like Bruce Lee said
Exactly.
one time, people should be like water because
Yep.
we need water to live. But water
What
water
you want
has
that
also
Bruce
killed
Lee
many
shit? I
people.
like that.
Water has people drown.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do you hate water? Like fire. People die in fire, but we need the heat from the sun. So
Yeah.
like, it goes with the good and bad, and even the creator, as God is love and God gives life, but also God takes life. So it's like you have to find a balance within yourself, and I feel like And even as a Native
You
American
do.
proverbs that say that we have two wolves in us, a good wolf and a bad wolf. And depending on the wolf that you feed, that's the one that's going to grow. So if you feed into the negative aspect of your being, then you're just going to be a negative person. But if you feed into
Yes.
the positive aspect of your being, you'll be positive. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, it's just about balance. And once you can find that balance.
Yeah, bro, you're so right. I mean, words have so much meaning, and that's why we all really
Words
have to
that
think
power
about
too.
what we're saying to ourselves. You know, I even catch myself in the day. I'll have some negative thoughts, like some negative thoughts about myself. I mean, like even like maybe a week or two ago, I woke up and was just like, "You should end it, man." And then you have to tell yourself, like, "Whoa, like you cannot speak to yourself like that." It's exactly what you're saying with the feeding the wolf inside of you. If you're constantly, you know, indulging in that negativity, your negative mindset, you're gonna stay with that because that is what is on your mind, living rent
Exactly.
free 24/7. But if you could choose that positivity, as you said, choose kindness, choose love. I know that we may not feel like everybody deserves our love, but I promise you, if you always lead with love, you will never have to overthink if you were being the
Sometimes
right
in order
person in
for
the
people to
moment.
lead with
You
love,
know,
they have to
it's
learn how to love themselves. And I think sometimes the problem is people
that's the
don't love
first step,
themselves. So it's like
baby.
when you don't love yourself, you can't really give to others what you don't even have for yourself.
Exactly. Which is something I had to learn. I was hurting people. I had no idea. I was just like trying to fill this hole inside of me. And once I was able to just look in the mirror and finally like smile and be like, word,
Yeah.
like we in this, you know. Um I talk about it a lot. Like as people, you know, people call me Edwards, but you know, my real name is Jake. And when I was in high school, as while I was dealing with all that neglect and like the hate, I made Edwards as a way to not
So you're
have
no
to
longer
be
Jay from
Jake
State Farm?
anymore. And pretty much. So that was my thing. Like I cut off Jake completely and I was just being this like it was like my superhero cape. Instead, I thought I was being a superhero, but I was kind of moving with some villainous tendencies. And I'm grateful to say nowadays I've been able to really have Jake and Edwards meet in the middle, shake hands, and I feel
You know, it's
so much
crazy.
more
I don't
myself,
think a
and
lot
that
of
has
people
allowed me to
understand
love
the
myself.
profoundness of what you're saying because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every human being is like an onion. An onion has different layers, and you could peel off the layer, all the layers till nothing is left. Or sometimes you could just accept what you are. And I think, as I said, it comes with self love. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You're very right. You keep peeling that
Yeah.
onion, and then you don't got no onion. You can just you gotta love
Because sometimes
yourself for what
we're
you
always
are.
looking for something. A lot of people tend to look for love from the outside. They want to be loved by somebody else, and then it puts them in depression. But they have to realize, like, true love is the divine love. It comes from within, and that love from within comes from the Most High.
Yeah. A lot of people think with their brain,
I
which
wouldn't
is
say
good. I get it.
they don't
It's
think with their
smart to be,
brain.
you
I'm
know.
gonna say like sometimes, yeah, I mean that plays a part too. But I just feel sometimes as people, we tend to let our emotions get the best of us. Sometimes we're more, sometimes
Yeah,
we're
a
more
thousand
reactive than
percent.
proactive.
But we've been seeing. I feel like I've only been here for 21 years, but I'm a big history nerd. So I look through time and I see how things shift, and I feel like people are finally starting to look inward more. You're seeing a lot of people pushing spirituality. You have all the people touching into crystals, and I'm a person who practices grounding. So I'm outside most mornings in my backyard
Yeah, I
meditating, walking
mean
around barefoot, getting
it's
the
ironic that you say
positive
that
ion.
because we are all an extension of the earth. I mean, like not to go away from the topic, but we like all extension of the earth, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like
No, we are.
I feel like when we wear sneakers, shoes, and all that stuff, we're not being one with the earth. So I understand. I
So
understand
a
the
lot of
principle
people don't talk
grounding.
about this.
Yeah,
When they made shoes, it wasn't made like to fit our actual shape of our feet, and having that rubber at the bottom of a lot of shoes is not
yeah,
allowing you to take in the energy from the earth. And It's not
The
like
earth is a living.
this is some like
It's a fact that
idea.
it's a
This is
living.
truth.
Yeah, it's a
The
living
earth gives
entity.
us energy. The sun gives us energy. We like a lot of people. If we love the earth a little bit more, gave it a little bit more kindness, and I'm talking about with pollution, with just like anything. I will say I'm still a dumbass who's
I mean,
drinking out of
listen,
plastic
you're not
bottles
being a
every now
dumbass.
and
It is
then.
what it is.
But
You're drinking water. Like sometimes you have to give and take. That's where balance comes in. Like we're not the
yes,
powers that be. We
exactly.
can't. Yeah.
You're right. We an
Yeah.
extension of this earth, and we gotta love it.
You got a definitely profound mind, man. Let me get into some songs. Thank you, thank
Hey,
you, thank
likewise.
you.
I'm very glad we
So,
was able to
so
chop it up and
cemetery.
dive into all these things.
What sparked that song?
Mm. So that song, the feature on that, Chris Miles,
I
he's
see
another
people
Long
in local.
Island
That's good.
artist, and so he's a really neat artist, and I had wanted a song with him for a very long time, and I had finally got in touch with him. We was able to set it up with his manager, get the feature, and yeah, it was just I loved having that song, because it was me hearing what I sounded like on a song with him, which was
Mm-hmm.
always like an idea in my head. As well as that song, it just touches on how
Said he said.
with all my
Said he said
relationships, with any
cemetery
relationship
slept on.
I've been in, when yeah, like when people have exited out of my life, I feel like as if my heart has a cemetery in it, and I feel like these people are held there. I hold on to a lot of
I
things,
get that concept. Sometimes
and
like
that's why
people
I
leave
love
our
that.
life and we're not sure why, but that's part of letting go too. But I mean,
Hmm.
I look at it like this: my door is always open for whoever want to leave and whoever want to enter. But if you
Hmm.
want to leave, fine by me.
Just don't
Don't
come
come back
back.
when I'm saying. So that's what
Yeah.
happened. People would leave and they
Amen.
come in, yo, Edward, yo, you remember when we used to do? Like, okay, I'm busy right
Yep.
now. Yeah, so we're gonna get into
Who's you?
cemetery. We will get into
Not
cemetery.
problem. Yeah, let's do that.
Hold on a second. Word cemetery.
I don't know if you ever heard about
Nah,
this Poppy, but it's kind of like a healthy soda. I've been trying to not have like Coke,
I'm not gonna
Sprite.
lie to
I'm
you.
trying to be a little
The only time I
healthier.
drink soda is
But it's
probably
good.
chasing with alcohol. I drink mostly water.
Amen. Water's a big thing. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's for your gut health. So it's a good prebiotic. Um, so just having these like once a day, it's been helping me.
How does it help? You ever thought about endorsement? Like, you have to. Oh,
No, this isn't even no endorsement. I ain't branded or nothing. It gives you a boost of energy. And then because it has the prebiotic, it helps with your gut health. I'm someone who has dealt with like IBS
they
and that kind of thing.
they
So
need to pay
it's a
for
good
you.
thing
I
to
mean, you're
have.
doing a free promo.
And yeah, it'd be nice if they
So
paid.
you see,
That'd be
where do you
cool.
see a career in like 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I see myself,
Hmm.
headlining my own tour. A lot of the shows I do, I'm kind of like opening up for people, where it's like a little festival vibe, which is fun. But I believe in the next 5 years, I'll be headlining my own show with a complete like stage setup with props and lights, and have a whole cinematic story that people are getting, intro to outro, a whole movie on stage.
So he said, "Son at the
Um,
garden."
yeah, maybe in 5 years I'll be selling out MSG. Who knows?
Even Barclays Center. You never
Who
know.
knows? Yeah, Barclay would be crazy. The biggest spot I've ever done on Long Island was I
I mean, that's
performed at
still
the
good.
Nassau
That's equivalent
Coliseum,
to. Yeah.
which was huge. I did a halftime performance for the Long Island Nets, so
Okay.
it's like D-League basketball. It's not like the Brooklyn Nets, but it's the Long Island Nets, where you got all the people that are
Yeah,
like
that's
the
the G. I think that's
prospects
the G
for the
League, right?
NBA, where you got people. Yes, yes, G-League, that's what it is. But I did a halftime performance there, and that was like the biggest thing I did on the island. And it was just cool seeing like hundreds of people in every direction. It was
So,
crazy.
have you toured in Europe? Is that because you seem to have like a lot of
I
Europe? Okay.
I've been to Europe, but I've never done shows there.
Well,
I would love to. I really want to get out to the UK. That's
okay.
like a dream of mine. As well as, like I have listeners out in Europe. It's just I know that there's so much out there. There's so much, like, the music game is really saturated. So I know that if I'm gonna go out there, I gotta keep it consistent. I've gone to states and done shows, but
Yo,
then I
let's get a
don't go
little
back for
dark.
three,
Give
four
me one
years, and
second.
people kind
I
of
gotta turn
stop.
on these lights now. Yeah.
I'll do your
Oh,
thing.
yes, sir.
Do your thing. But yeah, it'd be cool to get to Europe.
So, what country? Besides
Even
Britain,
like,
What country? Do you have like a list of countries you wanna go to in Europe?
yeah, I mean, I would love to do the United Kingdom, of course. I would love to go to Germany
Okay.
because I have German heritage. Um, I think it would be really cool to just like be there, see where my grandmother grew up. I think that'd be amazing. As well as I want to do a show in Italy because I went to Italy and I met all these amazing people, and they really loved the music. So they were like, please come back and do a show. So I said, if you want me to come back and do a show, you gotta spread the
They
word. You
gotta,
gotta
yeah, they gotta
make
book
people
you.
actually listen to Edwards here.
It ain't
Yeah,
cheap.
exactly. But I've been, as I said, I'm a statistics person. So I've been watching and checking the towns in Italy, seeing like if they really about it. And maybe in the next 5 years I'm
I mean,
headlining in
I
Europe.
feel like consistency
Who
is the key
knows?
to success. So, like, once you be consistent, yeah,
It
everything will
is.
work out.
It is. And I've only grown. I don't feel like there's obviously times where things go up and down, but I know that each time I'm releasing something, whether it be a song, a visual, an idea, um, it's only up. You can't think you're going
Okay,
backwards.
so
You only move forward.
with that said though, do you have? You say you went to Italy. Do you have any Italian artists that you would like to work with?
Oh, hell yeah! there's this band called Måneskin. The name translates
Okay.
translates to like moonlight. But I saw them. I was in Chicago at
Oh, damn.
Lollapalooza,
You everywhere, huh?
and my sister was like, "Yeah, I'm everywhere." I love Chicago. I love Chicago. Shout out Chicago. But we at Lollapalooza. My sister's like, "There's this band, Måneskin. We gotta go see them." And I didn't know who the fuck they were, so I was like, "All right, whatever. Like whatever you want to do." And we go over there, and they were insane. Like they came out the most high energy they're a band. And just they do this cover of what's the song? I can't think of it right now. I'm gonna send you it though, because they're so killer. And they've been blowing up. They just did like
Wow.
Jimmy Fallon and
You
stuff.
probably
They
should
came to
send them
America.
an instrumental.
Yeah, I need to. I need to.
Oh,
Sketty was there.
Sketty,
He's life
my
changing
apologies. I thought
show
you said the
for
C.
real.
I thought the C was. I thought the C was
Nah,
solid.
Sketty. That's spaghetti arms right there.
Poor Sketty.
Yeah, no, he's another one of my close relations
Okay.
with like
So
my
you basically have a
visuals.
team,
We've
right?
we've done some work, and yeah, I mean I would say the team is always like evolving, but I definitely have my people who I reach out to first. Sometimes people got other shit going on, so I don't really worry. But yeah, I've worked with a lot of different people, just trying to see
So,
what can
question.
happen.
Being that I mean, I'm not sure if people know, but your mother's your manager, right? So, how does that work? Like, how do you
Hmm.
separate being Jake the son from Edwards the artist?
Hmm. We've been working on that. I mean, even to this day, we are working on it. there was times where it definitely became just business, and I didn't feel like I had my mom. And I think I think she felt the same way, where she like, you know, because obviously your parent wants to see you succeed and is always looking for your best interest. But being how hands on I am with my sound, when I'm like, well, I don't like that idea, this is how I'm gonna do it. It's, you know, a manager could be like, all right, but your mom is gonna be a little bit more uncuffed with you. She gonna let you know what the fuck's up.
But I mean, for the most part, I think that could be a great thing too.
Yeah, I'm glad that, you know, she's still in the picture. Yeah, and we've both agreed that, you know, it's not always gonna be a thing, because we do just wanna have fam be what it is. But I know that like right now it's definitely, it's been good to have her, because she's riding for me,
don't be the type of
and
person
sets a
that
lot of
as soon as you get successful, you sign that day like, okay, mama, you could be mommy now. Don't do that now.
Nah, not that. It definitely will be consulting for real, but it's just right now I would love to work with someone a little bit. I don't know, like the way you look at Justin Bieber and Scooter Braun. I want to find who's gonna be that for Edwards.
Usually people have two
But yeah,
managers.
shouts
You
out
have
my mom.
a
Like,
regular
trust me,
manager and a road
you can
manager.
go. Yeah, exactly. You can have a couple, which is cool. But we gotta find those people. I'm still just doing a lot with just us. We keep it real close.
To be honest with you.
Thank you.
To be honest with you.
Thank you.
So Blind is a single coming out, right?
Yeah, April
So what
14th.
About
That's real soon.
EP, an album?
So right now we keeping the singles. I put out a little project called Streetlights, like August of last year, and that was like my last project. But the next project I want to release like that is full will be an album, because the last album I did was 2020. So if I'm gonna put songs out, more than one, I want it to be an album. Just right now we're doing some singles, kind of getting that catalog built, and then I could, you know, throw some on the album if it has buzz. I just feel like I don't want to put out an album unless there's people actually ready to listen to it. Because then some songs kind of, yeah. You know, like when we did Loverboy, it got lots of streams. We did, I think, close to like 100,000 streams with that, which was
so
cool.
You are monetizing.
But then we had that pace, and then slowed down, and it kind of fell off. So I went from like tons of monthly listeners to going back down to like a couple hundred, and then since then we've been building it back up, trying to get it going. But yeah, like the next album, I really want it to be thought out with, you know, the visuals, the songs, almost like what you're seeing with artists like Post Malone with the Hollywood's Bleeding and stuff. The way Tyler, the Creator, just been releasing everything for Call Me If You Get Lost. I love how it's, you know, there's a world that all these songs exist in, and I think it would be cool.
Question: how do you go about your single selection when you're releasing them? What's that process like?
I kind of just listen to them, and like whichever one really feels like it's resonating in the current moment. I mean, so like we had Veins come out. That was one I wanted to put out because it was around Valentine's Day. I was like, all right, everybody gonna be lovey-dovey. I'm hitting y'all with why y'all shouldn't be lovey-dovey. And now with Blind, I wanted to release it while I'm on the road. I'm going on a little tour with this band called Makes My Blood Dance. And they are like a disco, metal, funk, like very cool cats. But because these shows are a little bit more on the alternative, you know, rock, pop side, I wanted to, you know, give them that energy. So that's why we giving them the song Blind, which is a little bit more in that world, that aesthetic. And that's why we're doing that. And then after that, I got some, you know, cool tracks lined up. I don't want to touch in yet, but songs that talk about, you know, I lost both my grandfathers this last year. So that was like a big thing to deal with. Thank you. But that was something to deal with, as well as getting out of like a 2-3 year relationship, which honestly, amen, I'm out of it. But it's, I was going through some shit. So the songs coming out after Blind dive into a lot of how I was
I mean,
feeling and how I felt
sometimes it
going
takes
forward.
pain to make it. It takes the pressure of pain to create that
It
diamond.
really do. Yeah, we tap dance on the glass and our blood turns to
Oh,
wine.
yeah, that's a bar for Blind, huh?
It's
Okay.
that's from one of the songs, but yeah, but I don't know. I really want to be authentic with what I'm doing, and just show people like it's okay to be vulnerable. So it's okay to have these emotions, embrace them. And I think we're gonna see that with these
So,
next few releases.
what do you have like a name for your fans?
We've had a couple of ones. Like I remember we did like the Leaders because my last name is Lee.
I
But
mean,
we
the
still
leader
gotta figure
sounds
it
the leader
out.
sounds
I
good, but
know
it
I
also
know
sounds
that
it sounds more like a
yeah,
group than a fan base.
exactly. Yeah, so maybe like the Edibles,
Okay,
because
okay.
Edwards.
You perform in Tampa in August 26th. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Do I
Your
have
man
that?
just said
Surely,
it. Yeah.
I do.
That's a damn shame. You don't know your schedule.
I don't know it that good.
So
That's why I got the
how many
manager.
cities have you performed in
But
so far since you started your career? Wow.
it's gotta be like 50 plus. I've been I've been all over the place. I've gotten
Oh
the
wow.
chance to perform in Hawaii. That was a cool one. Um, I've done Florida, so we did like Orlando a couple times. Must have been like 4 or 5 times in Orlando. Then Houston, Dallas. Excited for San Antonio because I haven't done that. I love Austin, Texas, South by Southwest. That was like the first ever experience I had. I was 16. They sent me there in a van with a bunch of different rappers, and
Okay.
it was a movie. I'll never forget
So,
that day.
what do you think the core of your fan base is?
um,
Like, because it seems like it's just something I realized too about a lot of artists. They get more love outside their city.
oh yeah, no, I get way more love outside of New York. People in Long Island, it's funny because people in New York, I feel like the music scene is a little bit competitive. I see people working on it. There's artists like Nick Moody, doing a lot of cool shit, bringing the New York scene together. But it's funny because like you feel a little bit of that pressure here, but then I go up to Chicago, and I'm treated like I've lived there my whole life. Like shouts out Young Zay, Fatboy God, the Protagonist,
Yeah.
all the artists up there, because I literally have done 2 shows
New
there,
York is
and
sad.
they're probably the favorite shows I've ever done in my life, because they're very they
I
all
think New
love,
York, I
and
think,
I love
as you
that.
said, New York is very competitive and cutthroat, and it's like a lot of artists have the mentality like, I want to see you do good, but not better than me. So they feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People don't want you to dim their light. And I'm okay with that. I'm like, listen, like, I get it, do your thing, but I'm not gonna be sitting here begging for people's,
I
validation.
think probably you're gonna be okay
I'm just gonna
because
go with fuck with you. One day it'll be nice when New York is
I
like
could just
obsessed.
imagine you doing a
But
drill
we
beat.
gotta get there. You know,
The way how you spit,
I
the way
got.
how you spit.
I know it may sound crazy, but I got tons of drill records
That's like
in
the
the
sound of
hard
New York
drive.
right now. If you did drill records, they're not gonna like you because that's the sound of New York right now.
Yeah,
Drill.
so I've I've met so many people who actually do that shit, take it serious, and live that shit.
Yeah.
They live in what they talking about. So for me, it's like I can slide on the beat
I
and have fun, but I ain't gonna put
mean,
that out because
they
that ain't
with New
me.
Jersey
Like I'm
drill
not.
right now. They have New Jersey drill. New Jersey drill is more like the fun type of drill because, truthfully speaking, drill is a sound, but all the
Mm-hmm.
smoking on ops and all that shit that came from Chicago, and I think New York artists they
Mm-hmm.
implemented that in their music. But you could do the beat spit like that, and then you could actually make people like drill because like I don't want to hear about. I don't want to hear
Hmm.
about somebody
No,
slandering
check
somebody
it
name.
out.
Like that. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, definitely not. I know it may sound crazy, but like I grew up around a lot of wild things. I was just around a lot of the wrong people at the wrong places. Like, when I was young, like 16, 17. Uh, so I've seen a lot of shit in my
No, it's not. It's not
in my
crazy here.
youth, and I'm grateful, that I went through it already, because I feel like if I was going through it at this point in my life, in my career, it wouldn't be
And
beneficial.
experience is the best
Um,
teacher.
but yeah, everything happens for a reason. Um, but yeah, there's just so much different stuff going on in New York, so it's nice to have my own little thing going on,
No, I
the
mean
Edward
that's a great
stuff.
thing. As I said, I could really see you. Like what I've noticed about you, like certain songs, you sound like Post Malone, but then when you rap, you're
Hmm.
very. I can't even say Eminem because like that's cliche, the typical, like okay, cause you're white, you rap, like nah, but no, that's cliche. That's what everybody want to say, but you're very lyrical. So like the way like you have the cadence, you have the delivery, your bar, your wordplay.
Yeah, when it comes to rap, I'm very
Rest
inspired by artists like
in
Mac
peace.
Miller,
Yeah, rest in peace.
Juice WRLD. Yeah, rest in peace to all these dudes. These are all dudes I thought I'd be collabing with one day. Those over those few years when we lost X, when we lost Juice, when we lost Peep, when we lost Pop, like all these people were people that I looked up to,
And
and
it
I was
goes
just
back
like very
to your
excited to meet
story
them
with
one day.
mental illness. Like, like when you
Yes,
say,
exactly. Seeing that somebody with that much impact can be gone like that, it makes me,
and I think,
work harder to want to be here, because it's
yeah, 'cause I think
just
sometimes people,
it's sad.
I think as
It's
fans of
sad.
music, we tend to forget that artists are people too. They give so much of
Hmm.
themselves and they're all scrutinized. So it takes tough skin to be in the industry, and I applaud you for that.
Too.
And not only that, you could, I
Thanks.
mean, like, it's going to be more platforms that's going to want to know about you and your story, and especially as you being an advocate for mental illness, that's going to help because a lot of people. So right now, somebody's going through something.
Yeah. And that's why, I always let people know, like, if y'all
Yeah,
ever need to just reach out, reach out. It's just important to know that I also go through shit. So don't expect me to
I mean,
save
like
y'all
right
day
now, somebody's probably
every
trying to kill
time.
themselves. So like the fact that you could tell your
Yeah,
story and you're comfortable, it makes other people feel like, okay, I'm not
yeah,
alone. I think sometimes people go through things because
exactly.
they don't feel comfortable talking to people.
Yes, it's true. And that's why, like, every event I do, every show, it's not like I'm just performing and I'm out. I wanna talk to the people in the audience, hear about, where they come from, what's their life story, what they've been through. And I think that's what makes a real fan. And I
Yeah,
don't like considering fans. I feel like we fam, because it's just, if you come to an Edwards show, if I'm there, just know, like, you are being seen for who you are. You are not being judged. Like, I do not judge anybody, because everybody got their own shit going on. Everybody, has their own story. And as you said, like, you may not be able to, get food this week, but someone ain't have food in a week. So it's we can't compare, we can't contrast. It's everybody
and
going
it's
through their own
also
shit.
free. It's also being kind is free. Too often people walk around, yeah,
Yes, being kind is free. You gotta choose to be a
because
dickhead.
I mean,
Just
like
be
me, I
real.
like making people laugh sometimes. I can see somebody walk on the school face. I'm like, oh, put a smile on your face, man, and then they start smiling. I mean, sometimes that moment can change somebody's day, can make the day
Mm-hmm.
for the best.
Yeah, I walk around a lot of clothes with like positive messages on it. So like a hoodie I wear around a lot, it says "Tell someone you love them." And I just every time I go out, and it's such a fun one, because people are like, I love you. And I'm like, I love you too, man. It's just random people. And I just, we gotta lead with love.
Yeah,
Love
love conquers
always will
all.
prevail. There's a lot of negative
Shout out
things
to
in this world
Exit
happening right
32
now.
Entertainment. I mean,
Um,
Exit 36
shout
Entertainment. My apologies.
out. It's all right. It's hard for us to see the numbers.
So I must say, it's an honor to interview you. Before you drop the single, we could do another interview and play that out.
Yeah, bro.
No,
Let's definitely keep
we
in
will, man.
touch. I like your
I
energy.
mean,
You a real one,
I could
man.
only be myself.
And
No,
thank you for
thank
giving me the
you.
platform.
Each
You
one.
know?
I mean, we all help each other. That's how that
Yeah.
works. Thank.
All right, let's
So you
wrap it up soon. You have a good rest of your night, all right?
leave with like little music there.
Man, all y'all gotta know is my new song comes out April 14th. It's called Blonde. I'm Edwards. I love
And
everyone, and you should love
where they
everyone
can
as
hear
well.
your new song Blonde. What platforms?
You can hear my new song on all platforms. Hit that link in my bio if you want to see show dates, if you want to see music, you want to see
Oh,
merch. It's all
you
there.
really doing a damn
So
thing. You got merch too. Okay, so like
it's all there. I promise. If y'all want to know what the fuck's going on with
he's a
Edwards,
producer too,
you
but
will
you don't
know.
want people to know that.
I produce too, so if you need a beat, we can talk prices. But everything else, check it
All right,
out
Edwards.
for the
Yo, it's an
free.
honor again. Thank you, and yo, I wish you nothing but success, bro.
Hey, thank
All
you.
right, you already know. All right,
All love and
love and
likewise.
light. Lead
Keep
with that. All
being
right.
you.
All right, cool.